be the change you wanna see.
Seaside is a caring, connected, and expanding spiritual community, sharing practical tools for richer living.
Just your heart to show you how you can be the change. If you wanna.
We join in partnership with God to influence our lives for good, whether for improved health, finances, relationships, or simple happiness and joy.
Plant a flower, watch it grow. You will reap what you sow. You gotta be the change.
Seaside Band, always so wonderful. Thank you guys. All right, so before we get started, I did want to bring out our practitioner who is holding the light, who is holding the space for this beautiful, wonderful message that we have from Reverend Christian this morning, and that is Audra Nicole. So give her a round of applause. Thank you, Audra. Okay, so before we get started, I did want to let you know that we have the voters registration set up right outside of our doors. So if you haven't registered, you have to change your address, whatever the case may be, just know that it's available here for you at Seaside right in front of our doors. All right, very nice, right? So I want to start off with one of the wonderful things that we have here at Seaside. We had a series of Love My Seaside. So we have this series that we just wanted to show you real quick. This way you have an idea of what it looks like to just tape a quick video. So if you're watching online, you can do this at home too. Just a quick 20-second of Love My Seaside, and this is what it would look like.
Good morning, Seaside.
Good morning, Seaside.
Oh, we're here. Okay.
Hello.
Hi there, it's Sunday afternoon, just back from a great day at Seaside.
You know what I love about Seaside?
No, what do you love about Seaside?
It's you guys.
Yeah, we love the people. It's our spiritual family.
It's a lot of fun.
I also love the women, the Seaside sisters. We got each other's back.
Everybody's happy here at Seaside. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Seaside. I love you, love you, love you.
I love my Seaside.
I love Seaside because I can express my spiritual gifts, and that's why I love Seaside.
What do you like about
So that's just a quick, yes, they were wonderful. Give them a round of applause. I know that they're here or they're watching. So that's a quick view of what it would look like to send a 20-second video to communications@seasidecenter.org. This way I would get them, clean them up for you, and then we can have them for these kinds of things. All right, so if you didn't know, Seaside is a wonderful, thriving community. So there's always things happening. So go ahead and take out your agendas, your Google apps, whatever you put your things in, because there's a lot. You ready? Let's go. So we have the deep sound meditation happening every first Monday at 6:30. On October 21st, we have the celebration of life for Al Pride. So check out your Inside Seaside for more details and information. It'll be happening at Moonlight Beach. October 21st, we are having the Next Gen kickoff. So starting in October, the gathering after second service every third Sunday of the month. So we're inviting all those in your 20s or 30-ish to come and connect. So contact Audra Nicole. Her information is in your Inside Seaside, and there will be pizza and gluten-free salads. I want to remind you that there is meditation every day between services, between first and second service from 10:20 to 10:40. It's always wonderful to meditate alone, and it's a different feeling. It's a different expression when you meditate in community. Let's see what else. So there's so many wonderful things happening. Membership. If you check your programs, there's a new member Sunday happening November 4th, celebrating community, and October 28th is going to be the new member class. We do have a call-up from Miss Susan Sullivan, who will be giving you a little bit of information of what it means to her to be a new member. So give her a round of applause.
Hi, I'm Susan Sullivan, and I joined Seaside after attending a foundation class. Before that, I was kind of one of those creasters, you know, Christmas and Easter type person. And I would come in, and then I'd come in late and then leave early. You know, I didn't want to, none of that. And but after the going to class, then you get to meet people, and then I started getting involved in volunteering with Gourmets for God, and then I met more people, and then I started attending those events, and then friendships were developed, and then all of a sudden I have this family, and it's like my tribe, my spiritual tribe, and I get to use my spiritual gifts here, you know, doing different things that the Creator is pushing through me, and it gives me so much joy to give back to Seaside because they do so much for their membership as well as the community at large. So I'm in my happy place over here. So thank you.
My bracelet loves her. So among all the wonderful things that Susan has done here, another thing she has done is this beautiful, wonderful stage setup was done by Susan, Ann McGrath, and Ginny. So give them a round of applause. I'm telling you, wonderful things all the time. Thriving community. Y'all didn't believe me. Now you're going to believe me. So education. Classes are going strong here at Seaside, so become a part of an expanding consciousness through classes like Susan mentioned. On Saturday, October 27th, Rebecca Berry and Kay Samuelson, both practitioners, will be doing their once-a-month breathwork, sound healing, and intentions on Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. So sign up for this opportunity to heal through some sound and breathwork. Rick Ireton will be teaching his second module on chakras, 7 Steps to Mastering Your Life, Module 2, on Sunday, October 28th from 1 to 2:30. So sign up for this class because it's very popular. Also, what's happening is a Sacred Circle. So there is a table set up in the family room so you can sign up for Sacred Circles. Sacred Circles. And so what this is a time and space where you can talk to a practitioner or a student practitioner to go deeper into these Sunday services. It is done free for you, an hour and a half of going into what this Sunday service meant to you and going over the messages and more. So there is a sign up in the table, and I'm going to be doing one, and this one will be straight online. Sign up, again, is in the family room, or come talk to one of the practitioners or myself for more information. In golf outing. So I am now officially the Seaside model. So the golf outing will be happening on October 22nd at Camp Pendleton, and I have Nancy Chappie here to give us a little bit more information on that.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I was told to stand right here, so I will. You know, the church is so much about joy, fun, activity. Even if you're not a good golfer, and I'm not, do come to the dinner dance. It's only $50, and you can get a raffle ticket for $5, or all of these for $20. You can win this. You can win some golf. Even better, 3 nights on the beach in Mexico will be one of the raffle tickets. So stop back at the table and get your tickets, and I'll see you a week from Monday at Camp Pendleton. Thanks.
So we are still selling tickets. If you're not a wonderful golfer, and that's okay, you can still sign up even if you aren't, I was told. The banquet is happening that same day with Rebecca Jade. So it's more of a dancing community that it will be dancing, we'll be eating, we'll be having a great time. And let's see, what else? So we also have Muppets Treasure Island playing today in the Rose Room. There will be popcorn, and there will be the movie playing, of course, and Cafe on Lake. So Cafe on Lake is serving delicious barbecue chicken or mushroom lunch. Comes with organic brown rice, Asian coleslaw, and good earth sun tea. So that's all happening today, because what we're also doing here in the sanctuary is that we're going to be setting up for living room conversations. This is the second one that we are doing here at Seaside. And what we're doing is that the communities here in Southern California have decided to put some light on situations that we may have not been able to discuss before out and about, and we can have a conversation here with responsible, honoring people that will listen to you no matter which perspective you may have. This is a space where we can talk about those things that are really troubling for us, or it may be troubling for us, and be able to talk to someone that will listen, and then we can hear their perspective as well. That is happening right here at Seaside in the sanctuary at 1 o'clock, and is going to be hosted by our wonderful Dr. Kathy Hearn. And this conversation will be around the topic of immigration. Okay, so with all that being said, we may now stand and greet our neighbors and watch for the ball, because it's coming.
1, 2, 3.
Good morning, everybody. Let's all stay standing together. Today, we are going to sing I'm Choosing Heaven Today. Let's get those hands clapping. There we go. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. Love. I'm choosing love today.
what a joy it is to be with you, a group that chooses heaven today. And the beach ball is just smiling, watching him bonk people on the back of the head and all that. Anyway, Seaside, we're just here to support one another on our spiritual path. We enjoy doing spirituality because it can be fun. It doesn't have to be heavy and all that, but getting out there and taking our message to the world. I see Trudy sitting there. Yesterday, we were down at Pride Day at Oceanside. Edwin, he was down there along with Kimberly and myself and just a number of us from Seaside swinging through. It was a fun day. And so Seaside is here to welcome you wherever you may be on your spiritual path. Know that this is a caring place. It is a loving place. We do our best to be non-judgmental. Like today, those conversations that are going on after the service. We're going to sit there in these hot topics and just have a conversation without judgment, just opening our hearts and willing to listen. And when we're in that place of listening, we begin to hear Spirit speaking in all sorts of areas. So that's going on. And one of the things that's going on here today, if you haven't noticed, what do you think of this backdrop? Woo, yes. I heard you already loved them up, but I got to throw my acknowledgement out to Susan Sullivan, Sully, and Margaret, and Ginny Mills that came up with this. We're on this 6-week journey to abundance. You want to experience more abundance in your life? Boy, that wasn't very arousing. Yes. Well, I know a number of you are in Dr. Kathy's class on financial freedom. And Sunday mornings for 6 weeks, we're going to be taking a look at some of the prosperity principles that can create wealth in our world. Every year we take an adventure in prosperity. And this year we're going upon the sea, that infinite expanse of unlimited possibilities. And today it's about discovering the treasure, your treasure, or at least starting on that journey. So to get us going a little bit deeper with it is a wonderful practitioner, Denise Harmon. Why don't you pray us in?
Okay, I like all those treasures sounding kind of things. And I'm going to bring you there now. Let's go into that stillness. Going to that place of treasure, going to that place of the treasure hunt. I know that excitement, that fun of the journey, of the, where will I find it? When will I find it? Being in the joy of that and being in the joy of appreciation. I know that is God. I know that God is that electricity, that vibration and frequency that moves us into great things. And I know that treasure hunt is the fun of it. It's the anticipation. It's that infinite possibilities. It's that allowing the momentum to carry us into that thrilling, into that excitement, into that snowballing of possibilities, into that snowballing of claiming it for yourself right here, right now. And I know that taking us on that journey is Dr. Christian. Dr. Christian's talk today, the talk of treasure, the talk of financial abundance. And we know that financial abundance is the simplicity of appreciation, is the simplicity of saying yes, and appreciating those little things and knowing those little things, even when you can't see those bigger things. We go into that trust and knowingness and claiming and knowing that momentum's. And I know that each heart here is opened up to that individual expression that each one is. And in that individual expression and letting go and surrendering, the words come through and make a difference and make something happen, make something stir in you today.
God is so good.
Thank you, Danielle. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Audra, for holding the light back there. Hey, did you guys get your gold when you came in here today? Oh, good. Then I'll keep the rest for me. Anyway, some of the gold at Seaside is Dr. Christina, and this month celebrates her 15 years as a minister of religious science, particularly here at Seaside. She is one who really brought the online awareness to our community of religious science. She is the one who hosts our holiday program here, which means on Thanksgiving Day there is a meal and a service. It means on Christmas Day there is a service and a meal. Even on New Year's Eve there's a burning bowl ceremony. So she is the queen of the holiday celebrations, the online director, and just a wonderful part of the Seaside. And we just want to give you these flowers, share our love, say congratulations. We love you. All right. And there's some wonderful chocolate cake. I picked it out, so I had them put this real light cream frosting through the middle. It is so good. I'll be waiting for you. So everybody join Dr. Christina for some.
Please join those of us who are chocoholics afterwards. So thank you, Dr. Christian, and thank you, Seaside. I just want to share a little bit about the treasure that Seaside has been to me these past 15 years as a minister here. And thank you to Seaside for your support of the online education that we now have students in 28 countries, from foundations through practitioner in English and Spanish. And I'm the dean of that program through Centers for Spiritual Living in Golden, Colorado. But Seaside is the one that gives me the moral support for all of that. When I'm frustrated and I want to yell and scream, I come and talk to one of our practitioners, or Dr. Kathy or Dr. Christian. And I have the honor of being the dean of our accredited master's online program that's part of our ministerial training. And Seaside really supports all of that. Dr. Christian, oh my gosh, I can't tell you what a support he is for that distance program and for our whole ministerial program. And I want to thank Seaside for the fact that our online practitioners, there's 22 of them in Linda Watson's in my class right now online, and some of them are waving to us online. Thank you so much for being here. And we have 110 practitioners in 11 countries now from that program. Our very first graduation was here at Seaside in 2004. We've been continuing to have our graduations and our mock panels here. And now, since we've grown so much, we now have our retreats here at Seaside. So thank you, Seaside. You are an absolute treasure for this program. A couple of other things I want to share about Seaside is that when my late husband's niche at Eternal Hills was vandalized and some things were taken from it, I took his ashes out of there, and the money they gave me back, Christian allowed me to have a permanent memorial to my late husband, John Schill. So half of that fountain back there is in honor of him, and I'm so honored because it's something that's permanent, and I'm so grateful for that. And when I was in ministerial school in 1999, it was at Dr. Kathy's center down at the Naval Training Center, and they threw out all of the nonprofits. So Christian took our campus in as our ministerial education, and I wasn't a member of Seaside at that time because when Seaside started, Seaside didn't exist when my late husband and I moved up here. And so, but I knew that they were looking at a building, and I knew that they needed a little extra money to buy this building. So several of us, including me, borrowed money that we got paid back, of course, from to allow Seaside to buy this building. And my part was $50,000, and the person who was my minister at the time somehow found out about it through the grapevine, and he got really upset. But it was like Why wouldn't I? I knew I was going to get my money back with the interest that I was paying, and I had the opportunity to do that. And why would I not want to contribute to the treasure that is Seaside, and not only have something where I could play, but have it really close to my house? That was my ulterior motive. And thirdly, as you know, we all really support each other here at Seaside. And as a lot of you know, I spent the summer in a cast and didn't have use of two hands. And I can't tell you how appreciative I am of Seaside sending people to drive me around, give me food, sending Tracy McCoy over to help me with the computer, because I still had to teach my online classes, even though I only had one hand. And Dana came over and helped me teach my first class after my second surgery. But I have to tell one little last story. Is the week after my second surgery, I got up and I was by myself, and I was just really in pain, and I was really upset, and it was like, how am I going to do this? I cannot do this. And so I was thinking, how can I deal with this? And so I was thinking about who could come in and help me. And all of a sudden, Audra Nicole's name popped into my mind. And so I called Seaside and I said, would you give me your phone number? And I called her, and she moved in with me. She took care of me for those 2 months. She doesn't have to take care of me anymore, but I'm still thrilled to have her there. And I was talking to my sisters back east, and they said, how in the world did you find someone to come and help you? I said, because I'm a member of a community like Seaside. And Seaside, we support each other, and that's what can happen when you're a member of this kind of a community. So thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody. So let's go into prayer. Turning within to that treasure, that pearl of great price that I call spirit, that one light and love and energy and divine right action and opulence that's through and as all of its creation. From the tiniest atom to the farthest galaxy, continuing to pour its light and its love and its opulence upon all of its creation as it continues to create beings and people and universes out of itself every second of every sacred day. That is who I am. That is who each one here is. That is who each person coming in from the internet is. Spirit as that light and that love in human form, as abundance, as wisdom, as perfection, right here and right now. So I'm knowing for this sacred time together that pearl of wisdom, that treasure of spirit flows through and as each one here, flowing out into not only this community of Seaside, but out into this world, into this universe, spreading that light and that love of Seaside out into this world, allowing this whole universe to come up to its next level of light and love and consciousness, that beautiful pearl of great price of spirit within. And for this light, this love, and this opulence, I am so, so grateful as I release this word to the law, knowing that it's now done in perfect light and love and abundance. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you. All right, Seaside. Today we have Gary Lynn Floyd with us. You know him. You love him. He is a brilliant singer, songwriter, and per usual, he has a ton of great things going on, some things to look forward to. He's going to be releasing a new album in the spring, but coming up a little bit sooner in November, he will be doing a concert at Vision with Karen Drucker. So you can find out more about that after the service in the back where he will be. He'll have some CDs. You want to take him home with you, but you could also check him out on GaryLynnFloyd.com. So everybody, welcome Gary.
Thank you. Good morning, Seaside. I'll be giving free hugs at my table, too, if you want to come down. Behold, the kingdom of God is within you. Not just a place to get into someday, far away. bold. It's something that you can tap into, a strength that'll help you to get through each day by faith. Oh, oh, behold, believe the kingdom of God is at hand, within each woman and man. Believe, receive the truth that is setting you free. Yeah. The miracle in you released, receive. Yeah. Realize, open your eyes, behold, the kingdom of God is within you. Not just a place to get into someday, far away. Oh, oh, be bold. It's something that you can tap into, a strength that'll help you to get through each day by faith. Oh, behold, somehow reach down inside you and find a love that's been there all the time. Somehow, right now, somebody's broken and sad. They need you to give what you have right now. Realize, open your eyes, behold, the kingdom of God is within you. It's not just a place to get into someday, far away. That you can tap into, the strength that'll help you to get through each day by faith. Oh, behold, behold, oh, behold, of God. Oh, behold.
That is Gary Lynn Floyd. Woo. All the way down from Tahoe area via Phoenix yesterday, being back here. Always a joy, Gary. He is the face of the music for our Centers for Spiritual Living. For the last 3 years, he's been ahead of the music conventions, conferences, online. It's like, way to go. And you are here today. How blessed we are. Gary Lynn Floyd. Woo, I can feel a little excitement going on inside of me here today, so I'll try to talk slow. Good luck, right? But anyway, hey, this morning is Treasures of the Sea. We are engaging in this wonderful prosperity series for 6 weeks. I love this logo that Catherine created, Neptune or Poseidon. They're kind of one and the same, depending if you're doing the Greek gods or the Roman gods. But basically, here's a guy who could control the sea, could create storms, create islands, kind of like what we can do in our life. We can create storms, we can create islands, we can create all sorts of magic because we are dealing with a power that's not us. Remember, it doesn't come from us, it comes through us. It is the life force, it is the energy, it is the presence of God. And Ernest Holmes, in his book, Living the Science Mind, tells us, if you want to find God, it's like when you perk up. Well, yeah, count me in. He says, if you want to find God, you look. Don't analyze. See, we get so caught up in trying to figure out what God is. We analyze God. You don't analyze. If you want to, you'll look in vain if you're looking for God like a thing out there. I'm going to go find God. I'm going to go on this great adventure. We're talking about treasures of the sea. And this morning is about embarking upon this great adventures. And the treasures are right where we are, but also it takes a bit of a journey. It takes a bit of setting sail from that safe harbor. It takes a bit of committing and going out there, but you're not looking for a thing. You can't find it like a thing. Oh, I got you, God. I remember my brother in junior church when he said, God's everywhere. And he said, even inside the jar. And my dad said, yeah. And he put his hand over and said, got him. It's not a thing like that. It is something you get to experience, something you get to know, something you get to feel. I mean, did you see that sunset last night? Was that spectacular? I mean, we had storms and it cleared out the sky. It was pristine, sparkling clean. Those white billowy clouds from storms, just fuchsia from the sun going down real close to San Clemente. And as it touched the water, it was this green explosion or flash. It was just incredible. But I can't really have you experience it. I was trying. But you had to see it. You had to be there. For you to have had the experience of what that sunset is. And so the treasure that's waiting for us is not about me talking about it. It's about you experiencing the gifts of the divine that you are, that you can create new land, new horizons. You can wipe out the old that no longer serves you or belongs with you, but it's something you've got to know. There was a student who asked his master about spirit. Explain to me, give me the concept of what it is. And he said, well, concepts, they define. And when you define something, it wipes it out. It's not that. A concept dissects. And when you dissect something, you kill it. And that's right, yeah. And the student said, so concepts are not any good, right? He said, no. I mean, concepts can give you information. You can dissect a beautiful rose, and you can get a lot of information about the rose, but you'll never really know what a rose is. And so what I'm encouraging us to do today as we begin to come to discover that treasure that is within us, that is waiting for us, it is a journey that we have to make. It is something that we have to experience. There was in a fishing village, there was this boatman who was illiterate. I mean, what he did all day was, go out on the boat, fish, and do the boat thing. And there was this one scholar from the village, very cerebral kind of guy. He had a lot of information. It was a local village holiday or something like that. It was spring. It was a nice day. He went to the boatman, take him out on this spring day, and they were out there, and he was pontificating about his brilliance, and he was talking about the astrological stuff in the heavens, and asked the boatman if he knew about the astronomy, and I don't have a clue what you're talking about. And he said, well, that's too bad. How beneficial it would be for you. You kind of wasted a quarter of your life not knowing that. And then he went on from a cerebral perspective, talking about these ocean currents, the ones that go around the globe and impact here and do that. And all this guy knew was about the currents in his particular area. In this erudite said to him, you know what? You just wasted another quarter of your life not knowing about this. And he went on to another subject like that, and they sailed longer into the day. And all of a sudden, the weather started to change. It was spring. A storm was coming up. The waves were breaking over the boat. The boat was about to be capsized. It was just being thrown from side to side. And this scholar's eyes were this big. He said, what do I do? And the boat person, he's just calm and cool and collected. He's been in this before. He said, well, do you know how to swim? No. Well, you've just wasted all your life, Yeah, knowledge is okay. It's good. I'm not putting it down, but you need to have the experience. If you want to experience the treasure that is waiting for you, the gold that is here, the jewels, the pearls. Pearls. It's our 30th anniversary. That's the pearl anniversary. I just got sidetracked. Sorry. But anyway, but to make that step, You don't start by necessarily calming the seas and walking across the water. You may want to start by swimming, maybe practicing in a pool or a pond. You start off with some of the smaller steps that assist you to get going on your journey, because to cast off from the harbor, the dock, it's a big decision. You've got to do your preparation work. Tamma Keeves, who was here a couple months ago, she said, going teeny is the new going big. You take those small steps, and all of a sudden you get the momentum, you get the flow, you get the energy, you get the spirit that is going with you and leading you. And the thing about moving forward on that journey or that vision, you never know exactly what will be that defining moment that changes your whole life. I mean, in retrospect, you can figure it out. I mean, you look back and you say, wow, that made a difference. I mean, in the moment, you might think this is going to change my life. But what about those pieces that actually preceded that moment? See, that is part about going on the adventure for the treasure of your being, is your willingness to be present, not trying to figure out how this is going to all work out. Since we're starting on a journey here, I remember when I first started here at Seaside, it was the summer of '91. And I had come back from Hawaii, and I spent a year just doing the speaker kind of thing, which was a lot of fun. You go in, you do your talk, they think you're great, they think you're wonderful, you go home, and that's it. It's quiet. And what I realized in that time is, I'm part of a community. I want to be with you for years. I want to celebrate the births and the deaths, the good times. I want to be able to pray with you and watch you, raise up from your deathbed or whatever that is. And so I decided I was going to go back into the ministry. And so there was my mentor, Dr. Fletcher Harding, contemporary at Ernest Holmes, built this huge place in Encino. And Encino, Beverly Hills talks about Encino as the old country. I mean, that's where the big wealth was to start with. Anyway, he had this gorgeous, huge facility there, big campus. He said, Christian, I want you to have it. There are only a handful of people in this big building. They wanted me. And they were making a decision to pick their minister on a Saturday. But I wanted to go back to Hawaii. I'd come from Hawaii, and there was this religious science church that had opened up, and all the people wanted me. It was a good-sized community, but there were two branches of our denomination back then. There isn't anymore, so that's all over. But then there were two. We taught the same thing. It was ridiculous, which is why we're back together now. But anyway, and they were making their decision on Sunday. And so wanting to be in integrity, not quite knowing how to do politics yet, I said to the place, I said, you know what, my commitment's to Hawaii. They want me. I'm going there. Go ahead and pick. Now, in retrospect, I would have said, yeah, consider. We'll talk about it if you want me. But anyway, I said no and opened up. And a guy by the name of Frank Richelieu, though I shouldn't have mentioned his name, who was the president of that denomination, who was kind of fun, is when he retired as president of our movement, I got to speak at his retirement party. But I digress, sorry. Anyways, he stepped in and said, you guys can't take Christian. You wouldn't be legit anymore. So there it was, both of them empty, nothing going on. So I said to this little place in Solana Beach, 3 years old, 25 people, little rented facility, go ahead. I want to speak there. They said, well, you got a candidate. I want a cathedral. I don't want a little rented place. Anyway, I said okay, because I wanted to speak, because I love that. And so as I was sitting there, I drove down from a place, Ventura, with buddy Charles Webster, who's not even in this world anymore, bless his heart. And didn't know anything about Cardiff or North County. And we pulled into the Cardiff parking lot. I changed from my driving clothes to my Believe Me suit. And and I sat down in the pre-service meditation like we do here every Sunday. I'm sitting there and I'm reflecting back upon Hawaii when I started a place there and rented a facility. And when we got the facility, I had a kahuna come in and bless the place with salt in the corners and all his stuff. And we wrote above the doorway a slogan from our softball team, Catch the Spirit. Well, when I left Hawaii, a week after I left, the place burned to the ground. They were sad to see me go, the gods. And the only thing that was... Neptune. I told you, Neptune. So anyway, but the only thing that was left was a sign above the door that said, Catch the Spirit, the one that we painted. So here I am sitting in this little rented room in Solana Beach on Cedros, meditating, and I open my eyes, and they have this computer printout back in those days. Remember the daisy wheels where the banner, and they had a banner hanging over their door that said, catch the Spirit. And it was like, I got it, I got it, God. And so you've heard the story how we got here, but it's just, what was the defining moment? That moment when I opened my eyes where I saw the banner that just was the same that I had put on a wall in Hawaii? Or was it the defining moment when I said yes to speaking here? Or was it when that one guy said, no, you can't have him because he's of a different denomination? What is it? And so I share with you, you don't really exactly know in the moment what the moment is for that defining moment for you to discover your treasure. But if you recognize that everything that comes your way and you open up the treasure chest and, oh man, they're not taking me. And that's a treasure. If God meant it for good is what we're told in the biblical sense. I thought this was bad, but Spirit meant it for good. Then all of a sudden, everything that shows up in my life becomes a treasure. When I am able to look and trust that the presence of God is looking through me, as me, I begin to understand in ways that I didn't really know in the moment, but I have to be available. And that's what's essential at this time in our world, is that we have to be available. If you want to find the treasure, if you want to bring the treasure, because you want to know the truth here in this world, it's about bringing the treasure. It's about bringing what we came into this world to give, our guidance, our love, what it is we have to share, because you can't take it with you. And so you've got to be available to be a conduit for the treasure to be manifested in your world. And so in this time, when there is turmoil and question and all, you've got to be good to go for God. And I watch people that not everybody, but so many people want to say, yeah, let's change. Let's change society. Let's change. Count me in. And I said, great. And then I hear these yeah, buts. Yeah, sounds good. But you know what? My TV show is on Wednesday night, and I'm halfway through the season. And I just can't do it until I'm done with this show. Just let me binge through this, and then I'll be available. Yeah, you put me down. I'm available between 11 a.m. and 1, those 2 hours, when my kid's practicing his Little League. All right, here's an excuse I've heard. The place just isn't very clean that we're going to meet in. It's just aesthetically, it doesn't represent the abundance of what we're about. And we come up with these reasons to deny our treasure. We're probably the only country that wants to create a revolution over Chardonnay and Brie. It's oh yeah, let's do that in our nice place. I'm sure we're the only nation that wants a revolution to be convenient for us. If you want to experience your treasure, you have to be available for the presence and begin to look with a new kind of eyes, the kind of eyes that a child is able to look with before they have been indoctrinated to the prejudices or the doctrines of our society. We've got to be available. If you want to see the treasure, you've got to have your eyes of God seeing as Spirit sees. You've got to hear as Spirit hears. Because I'll tell you what, changing, setting off on an adventure can be risky, it can be scary. The saying, boats are safe in the harbor, but that's not what they're built for. You've got to be willing to go out there and do something. It wasn't convenient for the suffragettes. They didn't have cell phones. Okay, what time? Or the those who abolished the slavery. Yeah, those guys. Yeah, they didn't have text. Okay, this street, this time. No. They had a heart, they had a passion, they had a willingness to be used, to bring forth what it was they had, the willingness to share their treasure. And as they began to share their treasure and their good, it came back multiplied within their life and within their world. And that's what Spirit does, is it pours forth back blessings. But you got to be willing to be all in. It's not necessarily convenient. Mother Teresa, she was all in. Did you notice that? Yeah, so Martin Luther King, there was a noble cause that he was committed to. Harriet Tubman, my goodness, Underground Railroad. These individuals, there wasn't between 12 or 11 and 1. They were good to go. They were just on board with that. And if you want to experience the treasure, to be able to step into something with a passion is exciting, and it can be scary. I watched my son. We've been working with Nancy in Brain Highways, and he told us about the amygdala of the brain, that part that just kicks in. It's a fight or flight or freeze, and but basically it blocks any divine downloads that are coming in. It's like, boom, that's it. No real clear messages are going to be able to get in there at that point. It gets blocked. For me, when that happens, it's a tub of ice cream and a bag of popcorn, and then judgment kicks in. Oh, my stomach feels like a kid at the fair all day, But what we can do to move through that, first you got to unhitch the boat from the dock. You got to push off. You got to begin to take the little steps that you are capable of taking in that moment so you can begin to build the momentum, right? Taking those teeny steps is the new going big. You've got to begin to say, okay, I'm up for this journey, and I'm not really clear, where it's going to go. I'm going to a place I don't know, and I'm going to be available to see as Spirit sees. But what happens is that our vision or our thinking or our mind or our prejudices slip in, and we don't really hear or see what is true, that this is a defining moment, that what looked bad was meant for good. There was this blacksmith in a town in the days of blacksmiths, and he brought in a young apprentice, a young kid who's willing to work hard for hardly anything, but he's going to learn the trade. Blacksmith said right away, hey, let's get going. He said, when I take the metal out of the fire, I'll put it on the anvil, and when I nod my head, hit it with a hammer. And the kid did what he thought he heard, and the next day he was the town's blacksmith. Because when you nod your head, you hit it with a hammer. You see? So often we're hearing and seeing through our own filters. We are dealing in a dimension that is not of this world. We are going through the stuff that we have had happen to us. We've had enough to have happen to us that we don't need stuff from past lives to get in the way. And, James Von Prague, who was here, I love one of the things he said, and just want to share with you. You missed him. I'm not trying to sell tickets anymore, but his books we're sending back if you want one before we do. They're discounting them. They're sending back on this week. But anyway, the question he says, why don't I remember my past lives? Did you ever ask that yourself? Yeah, some of you. Okay. Anyway, I found what he said very insightful, where he said, I believe that as the soul merges into the new physical vessel that it will occupy, it goes through what the mystical traditions refers to as the sea, or the veil of forgetfulness. Souls are meant to come into the physical dimension with a clean slate so they can start all over again. If a soul were to remember every poor choice and situation in the past, it would be so obsessed with how it did or didn't behave, or how it even destroyed lives or had been destroyed, that this world influenced the choices it would be making in this lifetime, and the soul wouldn't be able to concentrate on the current lessons it needed to complete. I do believe that all these memories are indeed accessible, though our subconscious, not the conscious mind, is what allows us to focus on this life. Otherwise, the heads would be so full that we wouldn't be able to function here. You don't need any other baggage. We got enough stuff going on in this world to deal with. Why didn't I remember it's there. It's part of the totality of your subjective being. But what you want to be able to do is be present in this world, because this is where the treasure is. In this dimension, this is where your awareness is. This is where it's happening. You lined up to get one of these bodies to function in this world. You set sail from another dimension of awareness to occupy here. You don't need the other baggage. You are here to share what it is you brought to this world, to receive a gift for your soul's evolution. And it's important that you are available for that. And you may stumble, you will stumble. Matter of fact, if you don't make a mistake along the way, it's probably the biggest mistake that you have made. It's getting messy, getting ready to cast off, to set the sail, to get out there. There is a sense of expectation. Have you ever gone on a cruise? When you pull out of the dock or the marina or the harbor, there's a sense of excitement. Have you felt that one before? Wow, this is going to be fun. I don't really know what it's going to be, but there's something that's going to go on here. It's exciting. It's dynamic. I know it's going to be a treasure of an experience. That's what we got when we entered into this world. I'm letting go of this familiar territory, this state of awareness, and this is what I knew. But you know what? I'm casting myself into this world, and this world is a paradise. There is something very special and magical that is waiting for you if you are available, but if your head is caught up in all the past mistakes, you got to let it go. You got to surrender and realize that this transition is not a breakdown, but it is a breakthrough. But it can only be a breakthrough if I'm bringing fresh eyes to the equation to see the gifts of God that are being offered in every moment, because the sea that we're talking about is about the infinite. The unfathomable realm of infinite possibilities that we are setting sail upon to be able to experience the fullness and the glory and the richness of the presence of God. And only as we make ourselves available to that are we going to begin to receive what is possible for us. And so as we cast off and we set into a new experience in the sea, in this vastness, out there in the ocean, there's an exciting adventure waiting for us, but there are no road signs. You're in the ocean. Have you noticed that? There are no Starbucks out there. There are no convenience stores. Your GPS doesn't work because it hadn't a clue where you are in all of this. You are underneath the black sky that is filled with a zillion stars that you have never seen so many. There is an exciting, infinite possibility that is waiting for you, and you have got to be willing to be available for that. You've got to be willing to step into that and recognize that in this adventure, it's going to bring up some of your past stuff that froze up that amygdala and it stopped you. Your conscious mind that said, hey, don't go any further here because this is uncharted territory. But that's the very territory you need to go in to discover the new treasure. And so as you're beginning to deal with that, I got to tell you, what you wouldn't deal with sooner or earlier, it comes back. Sorry, guys. That gut something said, don't do it, because you're going to have to deal with it eventually, and it comes back with chainmail and chugging Red Bull. I am out to get you in a way that will bring you to your knees so you turn to something higher. You will have just jiggled that hornet's nest, and I'll assure you those guys weren't reading Ernest Holmes and religious science. They are coming out, and they're not counting to 10. They're not turning the other cheek. They are after your rear side, And so, as you cast out into this unknown chartered territory in search of X marks the spot, and I don't know where, but there's something inside of me that is calling me, the call of the soul and the spirit that says, go forth on this adventure. All of a sudden, as I surrender my grip for needing to control the outcome, because I don't know where I'm going on a journey. I'm going on an adventure. I have cast my sail. I'm going to allow the winds to pull me, the waves to push me from side to side. And there is such an exhilarating feeling when you have come through a challenge in your life. Have you ever come through where you've just held the faith and you knew you were sailing and there's an island out there somewhere, and when you see the island that you were sailing to, yeah, I'm glad I stuck to this. There is something in your soul that is on an adventure here. You don't know where that island is, but all of a sudden the currents are pulling you in the right direction. All of a sudden I'm surrendering to the joy of the dolphins that are surfing in the wake of the boat. All of a sudden you see those whales spouting in the distance within their wisdom, guiding you to that secret cove of a distant hidden island that no one knew, where there is a treasure just in the experience. But this will only happen if you are willing to cast your line from the dock and sail out to the wild blue yonder. God bless us as we do this over the next 6 weeks together in our journey to prosperity. I love you. Hey, let's keep going as we bring Gary Lynn Floyd back to our stage.
Autumn breezes blow, leaves come dancing down, golden blades testify to to the oak tree where they've grown, in the arms of another from whom they've come undone. They're laying down, take a rest, start all over again. We all share leaves and layers. We all share stories and prayers. We all share what we're here to be. We share a destiny. That's in the floor. There's a rock that wears a crown. The density, a million years, shaping it around. In the arms of another, been holding for so long. Love affair never dies, keeps growing strong. We all share leaves and layers. We all share stories and prayers. We all share what we're here to be. We share a destiny. Share a legacy. What will become of we? I give of the best of me. We share a legacy.
That is Gary Lynn Floyd, touching our hearts, reminding us of that destiny. Yeah, we all came here for that, for sure. Okay, this is the time of our service where we have an opportunity to share our gift, to share our love, to share our offering. And as we give that treasure, that gift of our being, we begin to create greater space for the flow and the inflow of Spirit. We're in that current. And so this is the time in which you get to take a look and recognize, what is it that gives me the source to experience wealth? And you get to be the activity that Spirit has in your life. And so as you give, it comes back. That's the law of circulation. It's not why we do it, but that is how it works. And when you are able to extend that abundant flow of Spirit without strings, just with a sense of gratitude, thank you, God, or at least to that area that represents Spirit in your life, what you'll find is Spirit showing up in your life that is important and valuable. Spirit's doing its work as your life. So I invite you to listen to your heart and to give from that place. And with that, I'd like to invite our ushers to come forward. And I want to say thank you to this wonderful group. Thank you those who mail in your contributions. It is greatly appreciated. And those that participate with the auto tithe, that's that regular systematic support from your world into the activity of Seaside. That regularity is very important because we've got to continue to be part of that abundant flow. And you guys at home, we're receiving every week your gifts of support, and that is what's keeping our wonderful live streaming ministry going. So just continue with that. We appreciate that. We know you're there. And with that, I'd like to share this prayer of gratitude with the most generous of spiritual communities, knowing that this truly is a blessed moment where the divine pours forth through each and every one of us, and there is a richness and a fullness that just revitalizes, energizes our very experience because we're living within that abundant sea of the divine itself. And so being that wonderful spigot or conduit through which it passes and we're able to point it in the directions of value in our life, what we find is the great gratitude pouring back into our life. So with joy, we take that which has blessed us and we give it forth to support the Spirit's work, and it is passed on to support those individuals that are enriched by the gift that we have given. So I say thank you, Father, Mother, God, for using each of us in this moment, and so it is. Amen. Together, let us say this affirmation of abundance, which is, Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. Guys from Seaside. Nice job. Woo! Like those things. Had a little extra gold for you guys. All right. How'd you like our logo on that? Is that way cool? I like that. Anyway, I just add my love, as all of us have added our love and support. For truly the blessings of Spirit moves through each and every one of us, and the gift that has enriched and blessed our life, we share that, and it blesses and enriches Seaside, and we handle this gift with good stewardship, and we send it forth back into the flow, bringing the blessings and the good to all that comes in contact. Thank you, Father, Mother, God, for this opportunity to share this love, and so it is. Amen. This is Nikki, and she is one of your board members here, and also our liaison and connection at Camp Pendleton. Psychologist, takes care of all the counseling of our boys and girls, our women there, and just thank you for the good work you're doing, and we're excited to come to your home, your base, and so thank you very much, Nikki, for your support with that. Just remind you, if you want to go golfing, join us, get that ticket, or the dance party afterwards. You know, it's Seaside likes to dance. You don't have to golf. Just come out. Rebecca, who's touring right now, you know, started Super Bowl week on TV, won Best Album of the Year. I mean, she's our girl, and she's doing a private dance night for us. So come be part of that if you want. And but right now, we had Gary here. Gary Lynn Floyd. Thank you so much. You're just incredible. Beautiful heart and soul. You're a blessing. Danielle, always a joy to have you lead us in song. What a wonderful expression of music and love you are. Dr. Christina, congratulations. 15 years. That's fabulous. Giving us sound today is Matthew. Nice job. Giving us the visuals, Marv. Great job. And just a big shout out to the wonderful crew behind the cameras. It is just a wonderful gift, your willingness to stand up and support us. It is good. And speaking of support, as you know, part of this concert that Rebecca's doing for us is to help us raise some money for the sound department. As I've shared with you, T-Mobile bought the bandwidth that all cordless mics run on. So every music company that has cordless mics has been required by law to buy new microphones, and you really were supposed to stop using them January 1st of this year, but they've let it go on. And so we need 4 new microphones at $1,000 each. And Elizabeth Brewmeister, thank you. We got your check this week for the microphone that you just bought us for $1,000. Woo! Ron Finch, thank you for buying that first one. It is just a blessing. And anybody else who wants to buy a microphone, I'm going to spray it gold and give you a golden microphone since it's not good for anything else. But it's a great thank you to say, hey, you're helping to support us. So please, if you're in a position to do that, we would be open to that. Take a look at the Sunday program. There's a lot going on. Like as soon as I'm done carrying on up here, we've got a very powerful thing that is going on. Dr. Kathy Hearn, along with the ministers throughout Southern California, we're involved with a program called Boulder Together, which means different centers of the New Thought movement, whether it's Wendy Craig Purcell's Unity in Miramar area, or whether it is in Temecula or Fallbrook or San Diego or here at Seaside. Once a month, we've been sitting down and having a conversation of a hot topic without needing to make anybody wrong. We're saying we are here just to hear or to see in a new kind of way. And so we're not here to defend a point or make someone wrong. What we're doing is creating, with this wonderful structure that Dr. Kathy Hearn will facilitate, an opportunity for an authentic conversation to help stretch our understanding on both sides. And today, as you heard, happens to be about immigration. So come be part of that. If you can't have this conversation in your spiritual home, where can you have it, right? And so I know we've taken some little bit of heat, but you know what? We're going to be bold together and say this is where we bring spirituality into our conversations in the real things in life. So that's one of the things that is going on. Programs filled with others. Next Gen, that's the next generation. Next week, they're meeting after service. And I'm sure there's a lot more I could read and glean from in here, but I'm not going to. Because I do have another acknowledgement today. Here's another set of flowers, because our wonderful youth and family director over the last several years, Victoria Woods, who brought her practitioner consciousness to our youth, is getting married on us and changing life a little bit. And I know you're still around, but the guidance you have given our children, you have watched them grow and become self-confident, discovering their self-worth and their value. You have been a wonderful example of love, creating a safe space to deliver these spiritual principles for our children to take into the future. And so on behalf of a grateful community, we have a German chocolate cake out there for you, as well as this bouquet. We love you. Yeah. Hey guys, you got something for Victoria? Hey Victoria, there's a little extra love over here. Anybody want to say anything? What was that?
It's a present for her, how much we love her. It's a book of pictures and how much we love her. And these are things of what we like and what we wish for, like these.
The blue
and
treasures.
These.
Are those your treasures?
No, they're not all mine.
You gonna share them?
And those.
Very nice. Thank you. Well, my goodness, what love. So join us. We have a lot of German chocolate cake. As I said, I got this real light frosting in the middle. It's so sweet. Already had a piece. That's why I'm all jacked if I wasn't. Anyway, I want to pray. Healing is the thrust of our movement since its conception. It's not about the words. It's not about the information. It is about the manifestation and the demonstration. It is taking it to the streets, taking it to our lives, picking up our bed and walking, or defying whatever the physical prognosis is, because Ernest Holmes tells us that we don't deny the body and we don't deny the mind, but what we do is affirm the spirit. And that's what we're going to be doing right now. I want to invite any of our religious science practitioners that are present to stand as we all can feel in our heart and our soul and our spirit this upliftment of light and life and love. For it is in this moment that I begin to recognize the love of this family. The outpouring of love for Dr. Christina and Victoria, who just gave so selflessly of their treasures as an expression of God. I come to feel that love that fills this room, that moves through each and every one of us as a recognizable, demonstrable experience of the divine vibration, personalizing its touch for each and every one of us. For the blessings and the grace, the Spirit is making itself known because we're able to look without needing definition, without needing to dissect. We become available as we enter onto this infinite sea of possibilities into the unknown, uncharted territory without the GPS, but with a deep knowingness of the soul and the spirit that all is well. And it is with this exuberance of divine realization and of faith that has seen us through those questionable times that we deepen our conviction of that infinite expression of spirit, personalizing its touch for each and every one of us. For I stand as a divine resident expression of that Spirit of God in this moment, knowing the absolute truth in this moment of the wholeness and the fullness and the infinite expression that is offering its manifestation for each of us in relevant kind of ways. And so I invite any of us here today that has anything that we would desire to see evolve and emerge to a greater expression of light and life and love, lift into this space that experience of the human condition. As Ernest said, we don't deny the mind or the body, but we affirm the spiritual truth. And so I stand in this spiritual realization and see as Spirit sees, and recognize that challenge is meant for good. That it is one of those defining moments that I did not recognize in the moment, but I trust in the omnipresent expression of God moving in my very life in the way that is right and perfect, lifting each and every one to the greater expression of self. And in this movement, healing happens, not because I need to tell God what to do. There is an intelligence that has created a cosmos, a sense of order that guides those trillions of stars. I just allow myself to be available as a conduit for the emanation of that greater yet to be that is seeking itself in the body, and it heals the physical in anything that needs to be adjusted. It takes on the divine vibration, the divine frequency, and moves into this dimension of physicality. For God has its way, and with that comes a sense of living life with fulfillment, success, and all the resources to support that. For we're truly living on a sea, a wave of abundant flow that is pouring forth the blessings in our life, and we are able to write it to the wonderful manifestation of greater good. And in this good, there is dynamic love within relationships, whether it is personal, intimate, family, business, friendship, you call it. It is a place, a laboratory in which to grow up with each other, to practice greater integrity, honesty, love, caring, compassion, kindness. And in that practicing, we're bringing forth a greater expression of love of God to this world in which we walk. I say thank you for using me, Spirit. I know every prayer request has been brought forth to our prayer request chest is now answered, not only in the mind of God, but expressing in the lives of the requestees. The beautiful flowers today that was given by the Bryan family, that Al Bryan, who made his transition and moves on with those wonderful currents of eternality, does so with the joy and the twinkle that he always was, because he continues to be that. For something good is going on here within this community. It is growing, it is thriving, it is prospering because it's saying yes to the vision that Spirit has put before us, and it is the members are rising all rise with the rising tide, and all of us continue to move to that greater conscious connection with that infinite expression of God, personalizing its touch as our life. And I say thank you for that. It is with a sense of gratitude for the good work that goes on here that we contribute to our city, to our nation, and to this world. The work that goes on here in this moment, in this day, is a contributing factor to the collective consciousness. The conversations are truly divinely led. Love is expressed. Spirit is heard. And what we do is move forward. We're united as one human family. Grateful to know that this is the truth, that I let it go because I don't make it happen. So I know that which is always is, and I allow Spirit to be here in this moment, bringing forth the greater abundant good as our very experience now. And so it is. Amen.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was in hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. And this is what you've got to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Said I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Come on, Seaside, let's hear you.
I see Steve Dahl back there with his camera. Instead of sending him your 15-second clip on how I love Seaside, just go talk to him, give it to him straight, so he can have it now, and we'll see one of those clips. So that'd be great. Also, stick around for lunch. Cafe on Lake is going on. Cake is going on. So I'm just going to say, let us say our affirmation, which is, my life is filled with abundant treasure. Together, my life is filled with abundant treasure. Touch your heart as if it's true. My life is filled with abundant treasure. One more time. My life is filled with abundant treasure. And our song of grace.
I'm living in love. I'm living in peace. I'm living my life for what I believe. This world I walk, God's grace shines on me, and it shines on us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We're living in love. We're living in peace. United we stand as one family.